Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today the topic is the top Turkish mosques, which is Zeyrek Mosque. Before we start, if you are new, so don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Now let's move to the topic. Zeyrek Mosque, or the Monastery of the Pantokrator, is a large mosque in Fazilet Sokağı is the Zeyrek district of faith in Istanbul, overlooking the Golden Horn. It's made up of two former Byzantine churches. It is made up of two Byzantine churches and chapel joined together and represents the best examples of Middle Byzantine architecture. In Constantinople, after Hagia Sophia, it is the largest Byzantine religious edifice still standing in Istanbul. And between 1118 and 1124, two Byzantine Express events of the Hungary built a monastery of on this site dedicated to the Christ Pantocrator. The Montessori's and the consist as the church which become the Catholicons or main church of the monastery and dedicated to the Christ Pantocrator, and a library and a hospital. After the death of his wife shortly after 1134, Emperor John II Camillus built another church to the north of the first one, which was dedicated by the Theotokos Elosia. This church was open to the population and served by a lay cleric. By 1136, at the latest, a south courtyard and the entrance were added to the complex, and the two shrines were connected with a chapel dedicated to Saint Michael, which became the imperial mausoleums of the Comnenans and Pelagius dynasties. Beside many other Byzantine dignitaries and the Emperor John II and his wife Irene and expressed the birth of Solus, the wife of the Manuelite Comnenans, were buried here. During the period of Latin domination after the Fourth Crusade in 1204, the complex fell into the hands of Venetian clergy and icon of the Theocos Hondigureta was housed here. The monasteries and was also used as imperial place by the lost Latin Imperial Baldwin. After the Pelagians restorations, the monasteries was the monasteries once again used the Orthodox monks. The most famous of them was the Gennadius II Scholarius, who left the Pantokrator to become the first patriarch of the Constantinople after the Muslim conquest in the city 1453. Ottoman and Republican period. Shortly after the fall of the Constantinople, the main church was converted into the mosque while the monastery served for a while as a madrasa. The Ottomans named it after the Mullah Zeyrek, a scholar who taught there. However, because of its importance to Byzantine history, the Zeyrek was one of the few buildings of Constantinople whose old denomination was never forgotten and was written about the foreign visitors, including the French traveler Parigales, who described it in his work and about the Constantinople written in the 16th century after the completion of the Midrash in the Faith complex in 1947. Muslim students abandoned Zerix and then the rooms once occupied by the school vanished. By the early 21st century, the edifice had become very rundown and partially ruinous, as a result of which it was added to the UNESCO watch list of endangered monuments. Extensive and sometimes controversial restorations has now been completed and the mosque reopened for prayer. The monastery has been partially built using the recessed brick technique typical to the Byzantine architecture of the Middle Period. In this technique, alternate courses of bricks were mounted behind the line of the wall in a mortar bed. The thickness of the mortar layers is about 3 times greater than that of the brick pillars. The south and the north church are both cross-faired, and then the architecture of the previous century, the apses from the features triple lantern windows flanked by niches. The southern church is the largest to the east is an esophagus which has the eventually extended right up to the imperial chapel. The church is surmounted by the two domes, one over the nanos and the other over the multros. A separate upper gallery for a woman of the Nathics. Once very rich, the decoration of the church was disappeared almost completely, but some reasons and some marble fragments and pre-Bisterians, unfortunately the beauty opposite sectile floor made from colored marbles. Thanks for watching my video.